In order to be a good traps player, you have to have pretty good predictions about what your opponent's going to do when they're going to do it, so that you can get the most value when you play your traps from a sequencing standpoint. And you need a little bit of luck as well. So it's not always going to go your way, even though, you know, you think you've got it down. The opponent's obviously going to play some mind games with you and play things at a different rate than they normally would, because they want to interrupt your strategy. So again, and with a tempo dumping game right now, with whoever just slams out the most points quicker, has round control, can push, can win type thing, traps is in a weird place. So I tried to make them as greedy as possible and go with as much thinning as possible. This deck has 2, 4, 6, 7 thins out of it. So it's like a hyper thin traps deck that rolls out really smooth. If it wins on round 1, it can bleed on round 2, which is crazy for traps. I don't think it's meta. It needs something that we just don't have, but it's decent. It's actually pretty decent. I think it could get you to pro rank. I think you're going to be sort of peaking below 2500 with this, but it is what it is, man. Let's go through the strategy here. We have Deadeye Ambush. So the order spawns an Elven Deadeye on the row, which is a token that has 3 base power, and we get to have 3 of them. And we get 16 provisions that's allowed in the deck, which is the highest, second highest for Scoia'tael, right? We have a few 17s in there, which is insane, but this is right there, almost with it. And there's that. For stratagem, I have spawn a Neophyte. The reason why is because if I play the scenario and then I click this, these actually will play. So it'll proc the scenario, and we could do like a single turn proc essentially. If I put this down, I play an elf, I flip this, we get all 3 parts of the scenario done. Boom, boom, and boom in 1 turn, which is pretty cool. This scenario progresses whenever we play an elf on the prologue, so immediately after we play this, it's going to spawn a commando. And this is just like a 1 point per turn engine. It's going to boost itself. If we have something on our side of the board that's not an elf, it's going to turn this engine off, but it'll re-enable it if we have Vernaciel in play, which is this one here. So if they play a bunch of spies or whatever the case, we can turn it back on by playing Vernaciel. There's a reason why I don't have any sort of neutral cards or things that are not elves in the deck, is because I rely heavily on these commandos, the one off the scenario plus the 2 that we have here, for points. So we don't want to interrupt that by any means, right? I have chapter 1 spawn 2 Elven Deadeyes on the row. If you're playing the previous version I played with Angus, then these will be playing for 4 apiece. Here they're playing for 3. It's not that bad. I have chapter 2 spawn and play Waylay. So Waylay is just a tactic that does 3 damage and spawns a Deadeye as a result as well. Again, pretty good card. And the whole Waylays, the whole Deadeye spawning stuff plays very nicely into Vernaciel. So with this card here, we typically are deploying her on melee in this type of build. There might be cases where you'd pick ranged instead, but each allied Elven Deadeye damages a random enemy unit by 2. So once we have the Waylays pay off, the spawns off the Feigned Death, the extra spawn off the Waylay, the Waylays that are coming out from the Vriad Saboteur, right, because it spawns one there. Then we got, you know, just a lot of Deadeyes coming out here, right? Maybe backup plan creates something that can create an Elven Deadeye, so we have that option as well. Eldane flips traps, turns them into Deadeyes. She goes crazy. 20 points of damage on the last turn, big finisher play. I try not to use her in the same round as Feigned Death if I can avoid it, but if we somehow manage to save both, you'll see how crazy this combo can get. But her in a trap round with Eldane and a bunch of traps is fine by itself, and the Feigned Death with the Simless and maybe these 4 here are typically enough to win 1 round. So that's kind of how I split my rounds with this deck. Reardane is really cool. Deployed if played adjacent to at least 1 trap. Play an elf from your deck. Elf, play a trap from your deck. We put them in the sandwich, right? Let's get a trap and an elf, put them in the middle. We play both. Don't play them without that. And try not to brick that, because we obviously want to get those 2 cards from the deck. More consistency, more points, right? Better swings. So we do it that way. We make them count. We have Simless that's going to be playing all copies of a bronze special card from our deck. It's called backup plan, but it's actually our first option. So in this case, backup plan is just really good, and Waylay would be a second option. There might be some circumstances where Waylay could be more important, but I typically doubt it, right? If you wanted to greed the Deadeyes, maybe, or if you had to play one of the backup plans early, you go for these, but realistically, take the double backups, because with those, we could be going for the half-elf hunters, which are looking like a card on this list here, which is going to spawn a Deadeye, right? So we can go for those, or those, which also spawns a Deadeye. So that's sort of the idea with that. That's why we take a backup plan that way instead of just a lame Waylay. But so we go for that, get the Fin, get the points, and Gambit, we talked about it. Just basically, we have 6 traps in the deck, so we can play 2 of choice from our deck, which is insane. She thins for free. He flips traps into Deadeyes. We talked about that. Serpent Trap's a fun one because a lot of people are playing heavy, greedy, boosty decks. The problem is, against Renfree, this is pretty bad. So against Renfree, it's almost like they play a card, we have to manually spring it, because it's unlikely that they're going to have a create and play of a special unless they're running, let's say, Rune Mage, right? So that's kind of an awkward one in Renfree matchups, but against everything else, you can get a lot of value from a Serpent Trap. Deception's a really cool Bamboozle type card. If you want to see some really good Bamboozles with this one here, check out yesterday's VOD. Honestly, man, like, you put this down, counter 3, it's going to give us 3 Deadeyes. So it adds to this play. It surprises the opponent. It's sort of doing the same thing as the Mahakam Horn, but Mahakam Horn doesn't really play well with Eldain, so I like it better there. And Pitfall's really cool too if you're looking to basically predict when they play their highest provision card. Typically, it's towards the end. Depending on your matchups, it could be early. If you're playing against Skellige in a short round 3 or mid round 3, they're typically going to start with Tyr. So you could put this down, then they play Tyr and Tyr will die, and that's exactly what you want, right? It really depends on who you're playing against. This Pitfall Trap isn't very good against Golden Necker because the ceiling is pretty well 9. Unless they have Golden Necker in hand, you play this and then, you know, it hits for 11. But in some decks, you can really get a lot of damage, like a Renfree matchup or, you know, something like that. It's pretty crazy. Crushing Trap, I don't have room for 2. I like 2, especially when the meta goes wide, but I think that 1 is more than fine for now. It seems to be working okay because we have a lot of AoE damage anyways and a lot of stuff to clean up, so it's not that big of a deal if we just have the 1. Incinerating Trap is really good if we could predict an engine coming on the board, so typically, if you were to play your first trap, your opponent's going to think it's Incinerating Trap, so they'll play something trash. So if you wanted to start off with anything but this, I guess you could, and then let this be the second one, because they'll play an engine right into that, and it'll kill the engine at 5 before they can really have a chance to get any value from it, and it could be important. So there's that. Not only that, but we got a lot of traps, a lot of, you know, mischief going on here, but we also have Vernociel's... Well, I already talked about her. We also have Freyd's... No, I wasn't talking about him. We have Trickster. So with Trickster, basically move the last played enemy unit to the other row and infuse it with whenever this opponent plays an elf, damage self by 1. So essentially, I'm killing tall things, I'm killing wide things, I'm killing engines, but then now we have the option to punish rows. So if something's row locked, like a Binsion ranged, or whatever you can think of really that's row locked that's important, a ship in Skellige, you can just push that back, a Caraballista in Siege, and you could take away a lot of value that way from the opponent. Lastly, Saboteur. I love this card. I think it's great. Right? It's spawning a Deadeye. This Deadeye is going to be playing for points on the big swing. It's proactive. It plays with traps very well. So there's that. We go minimalistic here. 13 units minimum. The rest is just traps and specials the way I like it. And it's a lot of fun. Some considerations here I'm going to put in the list. Sticky Situation. I just feel like I'm not drawing it when I want to draw it, even with Gambit. It's one of those sticky situations, you know what I mean? That it's hard to get the payoff from. Isengrim's not a bad option, but he's not as good as you think in this. I think I'd sooner go with the Angus play. Iorveth is reasonable, a little slow because people are just dumping points, so this could be an option to replay either one. What happened? Either play one or the second one. I gotta put Serpent Trap back in the deck here. There we go. So that's an option, and I had Avalak as sort of a consideration. Not a great one, but he's a thing too. And then of course we talked about Angus, which is pretty sweet. So that's pretty much it, man. In a nutshell, traps right now, I give them like a solid 6. You know, they're fun. They can win games. You'd be surprised with how they can win games, but they're not like A or S tier by any means. Now, I didn't want to go cargo with the heist and all that. This is a lot different than those types of decks because you'd have to rework the bronze end with more purifies. You'd have to do a little bit less traps and more deploy elves. I'll do a heist video at some point, but this is just like traditional traps. Anyways, that's pretty much it. I got 4 games of live commentary for reference. If you enjoy the content, don't forget to sub to the channel. We got videos coming every single day this week. I got a live stream later today, so hope to see you there, and I'll catch you guys very soon. All right, we got Northern Realms Inspired Zeal coming up here first. Brand new deck. I tried a different version on stream without Gambit, and I wasn't pulling cards, man. But I have hope. It was actually doing well, but it just wasn't pulling the cards I wanted. So I'm going to put this back, and I'm going to put this back now. We don't want to go too trap heavy in round 1. We just want to go scenario.
Take back what was stolen.
And I have to save the Tricksters for the Caraballistas. Can I just not play an elf? I'm not trying to waste a waylay here. I think it's pretty nuts how Temple plus Onseus plays for more points probably than Feign Death. And they still have extra golds that they can play for later. I didn't think the card was balanced at 12. I think it's still good at 15. It's a tough one. Honestly, man, I guess we're just killing this. The show must go on for a minute. Did it pass on 7? I am at 2430 right now, guys, so it's not like we're in the depths of 2200 or something. We get the early pass. I don't have traps here, which is kind of good. I think I'm gonna put this back for now. Okay. Riodane, good to see you. We'll just fly away with this for a second, and then we'll get this one warmed up, and then we'll see what the deal is. I don't know if we can really 2-0 this deck, but I think the objective here is just to, if they have scenario, get that out. If they have a big boosted carryover card, right, on Zeus, whatever it might be, try to get that out. That hurts, man. We try again. So it wasn't that. I guess I'm just going to be playing a trickster. It was a secret service that was boosted. Is it a ceiling? What, for carryover? That's interesting. I haven't seen that one before, but it's kind of smart. Assuming you can give status, right? If it were shield wall, I'd feel more comfortable with that. Now you're just relying on your up. I guess infusions are not really that uncommon.
Whoops a daisy. How utterly inept of me.
This might sound stupid, but I'm thinking about just playing this from hand and letting it be a dead card. Just because I'm getting golds, you know what I mean? Normally I probably wouldn't do this, but I feel like it's not a bad idea. So they're just doing at a temple siege, probably with dam event.
Not without good reason. They call him stern.
Another thing here too would be to put some pressure on with Simless, which I don't mind. It could be actually reasonable. But then again, he's kind of good at conquering the scenario when they get the spawns out. I'm just gonna float that. He can't pass yet, so. Maybe it is the thin. I want the round to be short.
Why should I, an elf, a sage, converse with an ape?
We didn't play any traps, so we do this here. I guess we're going for that. Maybe we can bait them into playing siege if I play in the range row. They'll be like, oh, perfect opportunity. Nothing. Not budging. Respect. I think if we go any deeper, it's likely going to be a self-bleed type situation, so I'm gonna leave it here. And we just have to be thankful for the fact that we got the carryover from Temple out of the way, Onseus out of the way, Ada out of the way. So now they have maybe a couple cursed cards that are not really that amazing by themselves, and I have 2 traps. I pull another trap and another elf. So I'm basically playing the whole deck right now. In this version, at least. It sucks that I have to cut Angus right now so I can put in Gambit, but to have Gambit and Simless, I feel like it's just like we're slamming cards, you know? So if it's Siege, let me know. I think 9 out of 10 it's going to be. That's not a bad 1 and 2 type thing, you know what I mean? It's also not a bad just commando to get it over with, but I think our little order of operations here has to be... I wish I saved my Trickster so badly now. Okay, look. Gambit comes down. I'm gonna do 1 and 2. And then I'm probably gonna go Deception here on melee, because I have to. Because I don't want to play any... That was a decent kill. Part of me wants to just go ahead and kill the Revenant with the Serpent Trap, but patience is probably key here. Okay, so they brick, that's cool. I have to take this out here. We have to actually play on the range row, otherwise I get in trouble. This looks like it should be a win. They missed scenario because they clogged and they couldn't fin, but they could possibly get it here. It's just a little late. I just got an itch in my throat and coughed like crazy. I had to mute, so if I sound crazy for the rest of the game, it's because I'm just trying to collect myself here. Jeez, man. That was a good pitfall. Serpent kills the lowest. It's 50-50. Whatever. I low roll it. Deception is... It's the same either way.
Don't hesitate. There. Humans.
Let's make... Here. I need to actually spring. So we're gonna spring it. because I want to get the commitment there. I didn't want to put that on the melee row. I actually just roped, so they did it for me. Just an FYI. Listen, some of you guys might think it's bad manners, but I guarantee 99% of you want me to do this, so... Okay. GG's, buddy. Okay, we got Precision Strike. They go first. And... it's sort of a place I like to be, right? Gotta put some traps back, though. I have all my tutor stuff here. So that's cool. Vernosteel on hand's really good, too. But... maybe it's too much. So we'll just put back backup plan. We'll try to play in on the scenario and see how far it gets us here. Maxi down first. Are we looking at like a Simless Waylay 14 card Dwarf package type situation here?
Don't dare think you can escape.
Something like that. I can't row lock disable it, but at least I can push it back, take the armor off, and make them have to pad it up before they use it, which gives her some time to get out of the removal zone. You know what I mean? Most people aren't running tempering, and Chariot's not on deploy. All God. Interesting. I was doing something like this the other day. It was fun. I want to see what they have. Maybe theirs better. And then it just dies when we play an elf. So let's get an engine going here.
Let us sing the song of Zeal.
The coin has been flipped successfully. Let's get that leader out of the way. You know what's better than 1, 2? I could see them full cranking here because they're at 5. Patience, man. They're very patient. I couldn't be this patient. I don't know why I'm lining up for an agitator, but let's just play the range row for a second here.
We await the signal.
Now we got 3.
Don't budge.
No shot. Saved by the commando. Okay, that's not a bad hand. Put this back for now. How are we feeling about this, guys? Looks like an all-in type sitch, doesn't it? Lovely. Maybe we can bamboozle.
We're the best regiment in the whole plowing north.
Let's take a semi-thin here.
Why should I, an elf, a sage, converse with an ape?
Probably just going wide. Probably taking some damage. Does it show my counter? They play here. And then I actually get card advantage. If I pass, I get card advantage. Which is massive.
Time for you to die, Dwan.
Who would have thought we could actually bleed with traps? What I'm relying on is that maybe we can get some bricks in their hand in round 3. It looks like they're playing in for a gourd. Wait, it's not enough. You have to lead her.
That would fit perfectly.
No way, bro. Keep in mind, they have a lot of carryover. So it's not like, oh, look at them, you know what I mean? Because they got these coming in. Oh. Okay. They stay in. That's good. Alright, so if I'm using Gambit, I'm pulling 2. If I'm pulling an elf, I'm pulling this one. And I think it's just okay the way that it... Come on, and they must have bricked one of the sentinels. Sentries, sentinel. I get those ones mixed up. Movement, sentry, leader, sentinel. Pitfall and incinerating trap. I think we can go serpent first because they're going to want to use the tempering soon-ish. I guess I play Trickster, because it's just whatever, you know?
Pointy-eared clumsiness at again.
A little early for that serpent trap, don't you think?
Pride is all we've left.
Now keep in mind, they're doing like a lot of damage and they have a lot of points. I guess I'll have to see how things are going here. We have to get these down before I can't. What did they heatwave? They heatwaved the wrong one. They lost the 50-50. I can take one of these. I have to worry about the leader. Some kind of gourd. Nice little 2-point Wolfsbane. That's sick. I guess I'm playing this, honestly. I think we can just win this. We shut off that engine. It's not like they're swarming wide. They do get the leader, which is going to be worth like 15 points, but... I don't have any traps left in my deck. Chiro at 5 doesn't do anything. Okay. I must just kind of break this up a little bit, but whatever. There's that. And there's that. And there's that. So, we got it done, even though I whoopsed at the end, but... Okay, we got line pockets coming up here next. Scenario here is perfect. I have an engine, which is great. 2 engines, which is great. We can put back this 1 brick. The hand is too top heavy, way too top heavy right now. This can go back for now. So I can play about half of it. And if I need to, I can play maybe Reardan for the thin. But I think it's probably better to go Simless if we need to. So probably Golden Necker. Line pockets. There is consideration to do a traps round because I have a fair amount of them. There we go, it's dead.
Could you say? Thought you'd never ask.
They're probably thinking, there's no way this guy's gonna play. Yes, I am. Alright, let's fire up something here. That hurts. Should I go Simless then?
Feign not ignorant. Remember to whom you speak.
No hand boosts, but we could take this here. Well, I guess we take double these. That's kind of pog. Now we can go down with these and hopefully win it, but we'll see. The infusion would not be good because it's going to purify itself. So we'll do one of these then. Let's fire both of these off. I think it's worth it.
Swords I smile at. Weapons
We can eat
laugh.
through this, kill this, we're doing alright.
Listen, I just work here.
I don't know. How do you feel about just letting them have card disadvantage? They might push in with Golden Necker, which is not good for me, but...
Oh dear. My pointy-eared clumsiness at it again.
It's a considerable deficit, so that works. We win on even, we go next. So I'm out a Serpent Trap, I'm out a Deception and a Simless, but I still have Scenario. You can open with it. One, two, and three. It's not a bad hand.
Await the signal.
Let's push a little bit.
Till then, don't budge.
Call this one the Tackler. Get out, you baldy-faced baby.
Last card played was this one, so we'll play this next. It is their only spender currently, so I'm considering maybe taking the Waylay off of that. What, do you have a Philippa or something? Okay.
Power, the object of dark desire.
Above sabotage, you'll find yourself below ground.
No room for friendship in this business.
So, I traded Scenario for Furco, Philippa, Gallo, and Justice. The thing is, they didn't play Golden Necker here, but also, if I do play in, then they might play it, but then they get the Siri. It's also a little self-bleeding if I do it that way. I think I can win in a 7-card round 3 like this. So I pull 1 trap and 1 elf, and yeah, we just keep it like this exactly. We see the whole deck, which is insane. I feel like they're prone to have bricks though, if they're playing this thinning for Golden Necker, because they've got, look, 1, 2, 3. Like, they definitely pulled one of the things that they shouldn't have pulled. I mean, they would have Candle, potentially. And they would have probably Hideout for Artifact.
Poker's red hot now.
Yeah, that's not really a big deal.
Guaranteed.
I love this card. I just think it's better in Northern Realms. Let's get one of these fired up because I need to get actual points here. I don't think they can fit unicorns from a provision standpoint. It's probably going to be Pitfall. And I hope I'm not getting sick. My throat's kind of like... it's caught up, you know? Oops. I need one of these. So we gotta put this in the middle. Take that out. We take that. So this first, this second. Careful though. I made a couple mistakes yesterday where I would play traps beside each other by an accident because in old Gwent it didn't matter. But now you have to have something separating them. Otherwise they spring. So it's important to acknowledge that, really. This looks like a heavy clap, by the way. Super duper clap. They just might not have a spender. So they're over profiting to 100,000th. 100,000 millionth. And then Candle comes down late. It's a shame. If they had Candle out early with him, it could have been fire. I think you want to start boosting here. Yeah. You might as well just go for it. Watch they get the third one. That would be perfect. There you go. One more. At this point, bro, go all in on one unit, because I've already played Serpent Trap. I don't think I'm getting a better value for the crushing, so we're just gonna have to spring it here. It's unfortunate. I think they wasted about 15 points with the coins, but that's just the Syndicate thing, you know? It happens. Last game of the day. Last game of the video. I'll be streaming later. So, Simless is now unbricked. The Waylay can go back more than likely. I also don't want to play too many traps, so maybe this goes back for now. Obviously, they're going to kill whatever I play. I could just steamroll this, really. 2-4, and then I overkill it, though, unfortunately. I could just take a Waylay off of it. Wait till they play another unit. You're not going to spend 4 to poison a 3. I don't think so. Okay, I'm still in a place here, so... It feels expensive to me to go take the Gambit, but it might be good. Let's just play her, honestly.
We await the signal. Till then, don't budge.
On the count of 3, we go in. 1, 2.
I don't mind pushing it back. Problem is, I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna go for the round 1 win. And then they're gonna push with King of Beggars in round 2. And Siggy and all that.
It will very well be the deal of a lifetime.
That's over profit here. Just considering how we want to approach this. Simless might be the best bet, but Simless is actually my bleed defending card, so if I go Crushing Trap here, it's sort of anticlimactic, but I don't think that they're going to be swarming anyways. It's just about getting this on the board so that I can play this, and then I can maybe play this to go for a thin, and just maybe take out one of these or something like that, so we have like the good traps for later, and just all that sort of thing. And if I go play this, then I can get out Ailerin, which is a good thin. Xora. Do they go for it? It's at 4. There's no point in trying to kill her, really. 32? Two traps. I might have to, man. We gotta pretend to bamboozle.
Same time next week.
I think I want round control, even if it means they pass here and I play Simless. That's a good kill. Got him. Maybe I go Simless here into... It might actually just be my trap round. Look at this.
Freedom is won with blood.
I'm gonna just play, like, Eldain. Whoops. I just suck. No, it was intentional. See, deliberate. Calculated.
We shall drive the 8 men into the sea.
was actually an accident. I wasn't trying to do it, but I can justify it now. It looks pretty good. Do I have enough room to play Pitfall? I think I do. I don't think you're taking leader just to do all that. You know what, man? 2-card advantage is kind of attractive. Nah, it's not. Because King of Beggars plus Savola, or whatever the case, or King of Beggars plus Siggy, that's like bringing out cards. I think we're just fine.
Best commodity in town, I swear it.
It's only hitting for 5, and then they get that. You go up one more. I think we're taking Simless here.
At your age, at 2 centuries, you behave like you were barely one.
Let's get rid of your Spenda. I still have full leader plus Verno. So they have 3 Sesames, which is going to be crazy for me. Let's do this. Let's do this. That's basically the whole deck. I'm gonna try to Deception win. We're gonna go Deception on the range row and just let her tick. Gallows bricked. Yeah, we're flying here. Trust.
Take no prisoners! No prisoners!
Well, so I thought. We might as well just play this out a little bit more.
Not mine, I swear. Got no idea how it got there.
They got 8 coins. Three, 6, 9, 3, 6, 9. 9, 18. I don't feel comfortable doing this. 9, 18, 6. Screw it. Should I just save the leader then? 8. Nah, we're going for it, man. Who cares? A 100,000 regrets. I'm terrified now. It's over.
Shoes only get in the way.
I mean, that was clutch, but I think it's still over. If they have candle,
May your sword and arm be one.
if they have candle, I'm cooked. If it's a spender, I'm cooked. If it's anything else, I might actually be able to win. No way.